On a rainy day, police officers stop a car at a barricaded road while men carry a safe-marked Centurion into a house under construction. Frank Underwood, watching Rachel Maddow discuss the vice president appointment on TV while home renovations continue, talks with his wife, Claire. A meeting, seemingly involving Congressman Tusk and interrupted by Bob Birch, hints at sensitive political dealings discussed in code. As the vice president's staff prepares a White House meeting, it's clear that Raymond Tusk must be handled carefully. Frank and Claire discuss Lori Tate, with Claire implying she has significant influence over someone, potentially Raymond Tusk. Frank states Raymond Tusk is an obstacle to the president's agenda, and his priority is to help the president. Lucas Goodwin tries to convince a police officer to investigate Zoe Barnes's death, presenting the blurry video as evidence of foul play. It's revealed they are concealing a video containing a tragic event involving Zoe Barnes. In the Oval Office, President Walker, Secretary Duran, Raymond Tusk, and Frank discuss dealing with the Chinese, with Frank subtly asserting control. Claire attends a meeting, and Frank tells the audience that President Walker is being swayed. Kathy gives Ted a photo of his daughter and later is approached with the offer to become party organizer, in which she is told Frank will be an ally. Claire is given recommendations for a suitable political candidate. Finally, Claire and Frank discuss cyber war. Kathy expresses her unease about involving the Chinese in Frank's plans, reminding him of her promise to the president. Frank dismisses her concerns, stating he's willing to overturn the table if he doesn't like the setting. Later, Claire, in bed, jokingly accuses Frank of cheating as he works late. A reporter questions Frank about the Chinese negotiations, but Frank denies any staff contact with the delegation. Meanwhile, journalist Lucas's editor, Tom, confronts him about his disheveled appearance and presses him to focus his investigation. Frank attends a dinner and congratulates General Dalton McGuinness on his new assignment. Back in their room, Claire reveals she recognizes General Dalton as someone who assaulted her in the past. Frank dismisses her concerns, causing a fight between them. Tom brings Lucas beers and offers advice on coping with grief over Zoe, revealing that Zoe was investigating Dalton McGuinness before her death, spurring Lucas to begin investigating Frank Underwood. Finally, Frank publicly introduces General Alicia Hampton and Dalton McGuinness at a ceremony as Claire watches, visibly upset. Frank, overseeing construction on his property, is reminded of security concerns. Claire recounts a past sexual assault to Frank, revealing she fought back but was ultimately suffocated. She explains that confronting this rage is essential for survival. Back in the White House, Frank confronts Secretary Duran about her unauthorized ultimatum to China during trade negotiations. Secretary Duran defends her actions, arguing that showing weakness would have been a mistake. Raymond Tusk informs Frank that Chinese officials are outraged. An aide advises Frank that President Walker needs to apologize to the Chinese Ministry of Commerce to defuse the escalating international crisis. Frank convinces President Walker to apologize. Elsewhere, Jackie offers a deal to Wes, refusing to give her seat to Buck Walter. Jackie later learns damaging information about Ted and his illegitimate daughter. Frank tasks Lucas with infiltrating the deep web. As tensions rise, Frank Underwood watches news reports of the trade talks deadlocking and Secretary Duran's statements. Later, President Walker confronts Secretary Duran and they argue about the fallout and potential for scandal if the trade talk story becomes public. President Walker threatens to replace Secretary Duran as she appears to try to force his resignation. Claire says she's been in her new office, which was just completed that day, and that it is okay for an office. Frank and Claire meet in a plastic-covered room in their new house, which Frank calls their fortress. Elsewhere, Lucas is at his computer, searching online for a hacker. Using the username Data Crusader, he logs onto a forum called The Downloads and posts a message seeking someone to hack phone records, specifying his target, the Vice President of the United States.